Hello and welcome to Happy Foot Sad Foot, the post-game show for Saturday, June 1st versus Dallas. It was Pride Night. It was a great 1-0 victory. Vince is here joining us. Vince LaRosa with us out on is that the Plaza? Where are you?
Yeah, live from the Pepsi Plaza. I believe that's what they call it. We're not getting paid by Pepsi, but LAFC is.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
good for them.
what could we possibly be if LAFC didn't exist? So let's keep them going. Welcome everybody coming in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. It looked from the broadcast like an amazing vibe there tonight. I imagine there might be less people in the chat than usual tonight because a lot of people seem to have showed up at the match. Maybe we should start there. Vince, do you want to tell us about like what was it like in stadium
really
tonight?
So, Darren, you've been at recent matches, and they've
Yes.
been good. Look,
That was our Wednesday.
I feel like recent matches, the tailgate's been okay, and then the match fills in, and you're surprised, like, oh, okay, finally all these people showed up. This was the opposite, where it was like a lot of people are out and about. This is going to be a good match, and then everyone came in, and it was great. It really was great. The vibes were great. Everyone was in a good mood, and maybe that's some of the team being also good. But it's Pride Night. We always do it big for Pride Night for LAFC. It was a really good time. You know what I did do? Because you guys sent me this from the chat. LAFC Lou, his husband had reached out and said, "Hey, come by the tent because we're gonna have Jello
For
shots."
Pride Republic?
Yeah, for Pride Republic, and you guys were not able to make it, which is just the norm now because the three of us cannot be in the same place at once.
It's
just not
impossible.
possible.
We can't make it happen.
It's a weird kryptonite in a weird way. So I went by and I had some Jello shots, and by some I mean more than a couple, and I had an awesome time.
Oh man, yeah, I heard rainbow Jello shots. Is that happening?
Yes, so they're all different rainbow Jello shots, all different flavors like Moscow Mule or
Oh my god.
yeah. And so I went for the Moscow Mule, and I was told that the peanut butter and jelly whiskey shot was very popular, and I was like, I saw that and I wasn't sure, and then I went for it. By the way, the fireworks are going off. I don't know if you can hear it. It's going nuts.
You can barely hear it, so audio is fine, but you can kind of hear. It's cool.
I can see from the outside, and I can't really see the best part of it, but it's going fucking nuts. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, awesome!
But peanut butter and jelly whiskey shot.
Wow!
Fantastic.
Okay,
fantastic.
That's awesome. Well, a lot translated to the broadcast for the game itself. The tifo was insane. That was really cool. I love the rainbow flare. Was it flare? Not flares, but smoke.
Rainbow smoke.
Not flares. So sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah, don't
find us.
Sorry, Don Garber.
And I guess the match went pretty well. We can finally get to that.
It went okay.
It was maybe shouldn't have been a 1-0 victory. I'll take the win. But I think everyone kind of went into Dallas thinking like hoping for more. I'm not disappointed ultimately.
I'll say it. Everyone was like, we should have kicked the shit out of Dallas.
They didn't. I think the main thing is like, I don't think at any point in the match did Dallas present any actual concern for us. And so if that's the case, we could have gone out and gotten more goals. That's what I think.
I think to your point that the first half was so LAFC dominated that Dallas was like, oh my God, it's 0-0. And
we've got an actual shot here.
Yeah, they went for it at halftime. And there was maybe 10 minutes where they like actually really went for it. And then LAFC, I don't think LAFC was the best they could have been. I thought they were okay. I thought they controlled the game. I thought they controlled the danger that Dallas maybe could have presented. They weren't the best when they were on the front foot. They weren't the sharpest in the final third. But eventually, Mateusz Bogusz, by the way, that pass from Mateusz Bogusz, oh my God. Just gorgeous.
He's looking good lately. Another great game from him.
Yeah, the fact that Denis Bouanga didn't have to take another touch to finish it and score, just gorgeous. And I honestly thought it was when Dallas was putting like a little bit of they were trying to build to something. It wasn't it's not, it's like they were like, hey, look, if we get a draw, that's great. If we can get a win, we'll take it. But LAFC, I think, deserved better, and then Bogusz had the bit of quality that really put it over the top. That's what did it for LAFC. I wouldn't say it's the best game, but look, there's a week now. They have a week off. It's one of those ones where you just go like, we'll take this. We'll take another shutout, which is always good. It just adds to the streak for LAFC. It pushes up us higher up the rankings. I know the Galaxy lost today, so it's all good.
Yes,
but you weren't
we can talk
flying
about them
high.
more later.
But again, it's all good because you got the sharpest moment at the end of the day.
I really think this gets to like my main happy foot. I'll start with. I think that they have this new identity, this new style of play that lends itself very well to one. I'll say matches that are like far less nerve-wracking than the old version of the team.
Yeah.
Like the old version of the team would have had a crazy haphazard, like a million chances on goal. Why the fuck isn't this going in? Like, why isn't this happening? And then maybe finally we break through. That's essentially the same game we just watched, but it was like we were pretty much in control. We had more possession. We were playing our game. We can play a game like that where it's like you can clearly be better, but then like they just got the job done. Like it felt very professional in a way that the old version of the team kind of didn't. And I just like I like that. I like being able to like still feel a little bit calm. Like it's 0-0 and it's like, well, it should be 3-0, but at the same time, like I still feel like they're gonna pull this out. It'll be fine. And they did.
Yeah, it's a control. It felt very much like 2022 when you were like, well, look, if we get to 0-0, we're winning this game. Last year, it was like, let's just go nuts. How much can we go nuts? How much can we run? And maybe that was more fun and more exciting, but this version feels more like 2022 where it's like, we'll control the game. At the very least, it's a 0-0 draw. We'll get a point, but we're going to win this game. And that I think that's best for this team.
Yeah. Any other? I got a couple other happy foots I can get into. Anything else from you?
Bogusz, definitely happy foot. Chanot was just such class. Like he was everywhere. That's very much a happy foot. Sad foot for me, it's just a small thing. Like we weren't good on set pieces. Like they took so many corners and just nothing.
What's new?
Absolutely nothing out of it. Yeah, I agree with you there, Darren. What's new? It's like we need to find a level to up it because at some point we're going to need set pieces. But right now, it's okay that they're not converting on them, but they're also not very dangerous on them.
That was my I had a sad foot too. That was Bouanga was left like wide open at least 3 corner kicks, and we didn't convert on any, which is like kind of pathetic, honestly. We're still like I like to see us improving on the defensive end of corner kicks still. That they didn't present a ton of danger, but I agree the defense looks solid. I thought Ilie looked good. Like no injury issues at all. That was a happy foot for me. We can get into more later. Maybe we'll go to the call. We'll go to the callers.
Okay. Yeah. Who's the callers?
We'll go to the callers. Jeff Talk, heel of the foot. You are live once again.
Hey.
Oh, I should mention the elephant in the room. Travis is not joining us tonight. He is lost at sea. Okay, Jeff Talk, welcome to the show. With a smokescreen kit, on site, not driving. Love to see it. Any happy foot, sad foot, anything to share? Who's the Jeff Talk of the match? Let us know.
Well, as you guys know, I'd like to completely disregard any format, including the format that you're setting me up for, which is the Jeff Talk of the week. And instead go to the new segment, which is called...
Now I know how to
Jeff
ditch
Talk.
this one next week.
I don't like people bringing segments on our show.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna apologize. I give you guys plenty of money every month. I have several t-shirts that were designed specifically by
what
Darren,
is
so I don't want
$5?
All right, guys. Let's break it up. Let's have a fair fight.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. Are you at the train stop that I'm gonna be at soon?
Yeah.
Why couldn't we go together?
Buddy, I'd love to have a happy foot, sad foot meetup after games, but Travis and Darren are never here. So how are we supposed to do it? You know what I mean?
But
next time,
4 days ago. 3?
Next time.
I would like you guys to add up how many games you've been to collectively, you and Travis, because I bet it's like under 10, and I garner it's under 5. It's the best. This is the best podcast done by people who don't go to LAFC games. Happy foot sad foot. You know what I mean? Actually,
Listen,
that's
there's a
probably
lot to.
counterpressed, but you guys are number 2.
It's not easy to do this show from the game. I'll say that. It's at the end of the day, it's easier to do it from home.
It is hard to watch
Business.
the game live. I'll try to say that for sure.
Sure.
As a person that actually
anyways,
really likes watching.
That said, we're watching all the games,
Yeah.
so not everyone can
Yeah.
go to every game.
I mean, one.
What were
game
you
is
here
all
to
that
say,
matters, you know what I
Jeff?
mean? Like, yeah.
What's going
I'm
on?
here to say lots of
Yeah,
stuff.
go hard,
Here's the thing,
Jeff.
This
Let's
game,
bring it.
This game doesn't really matter. So this is the time where we're just going to air personal grievances and yell at each other. So the Jeff Talk drink of the week presented by Jeff Talk. That frozen strawberry margarita, fellas, on the 200 level, spectacular.
Oh.
That might be one of my favorite drinks I've ever had in the stadium.
Wait,
And I'm
what
a
is
big like tiki. There's a frozen lime margarita and a frozen strawberry
Okay.
margarita on the east side of the stadium on the 200 level. Really,
Hard.
genuinely, there's
Okay.
almost never a line before the game. That's the drink to get, guys. That's the one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We all talk about Dole Whip. We want to talk about, the LAFC party beer. Nonsense. Garbage. Strawberry margarita, number 1 with a bullet. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
And then I think the other important thing to talk about here is because this is an off game where we didn't play well, this is the time that I'm going to say I think we're going to win either Leafs Cup or MLS Cup, and I think we're going to beat Inter Miami to do it. I think that if we're number 2 in the West right now with a bunch of guys that probably aren't going to be here in a couple of weeks, when we get Giroud and when we get name your third DP, I think we're taking it up a notch, and I think we're going to win it. I really genuinely do, because we should
A
not
hot
be
and
number
spicy
2 with
take
the
from
Rock
Jeff Talk.
Yeah. Should
and
we?
I'm doing it.
Jeff.
I'm doing it on an off game. I'm not doing it on
Really
a
going out on a
Yeah,
limb here, saying we're going to improve with Olivier Giroud. Thank you for the
No,
insight.
Jeff, for sure, fair to say this was an off game, but they still got the win. It just
Yeah.
kind of like you're rolling downhill. Should we be worried though that you are this confident in this team? Because I'm actually confident.
Yeah, this is
I
a
was
little
right
scary
last
for me.
time. I was right last time. I was right in the.
Were you?
We
No,
went
you
0
said
for
we
4
were
on
winning
championships.
nothing.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
but
right.
You
We didn't win
You
anything.
thought they were. You didn't think that. No, you said they're doing. I think the verbatim quote was they're doing nothing, not winning nothing, and they did go to the final.
Ultimately, who's to say what I said or didn't say? There's no way to look it up. There's no record of it. So
Yeah,
we'll just have
you're
to
right.
take each other's.
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know.
This show is famously
Yeah.
not recorded. Anything else?
It's
Anything
live,
else
it's
before
just
before you leave?
You know what I'd like? The other thing, and I know that you guys are captured by big LAFC, and so you can't tell the truth about stuff. So let me be the brave truth teller. Too many celebrities that aren't celebrities on the Jumbotron. Too many guys who you don't know who they are.
fair.
They don't get
That's
a laugh.
actually fair.
You're not going to get any pushback from us on this.
No, I'm with Jeff. I was actually in stadium, and there was one point where they just said content creator. That's when
Yeah.
you know you've
Oh,
hit
yeah.
a level.
No.
Every time I do
No,
go to
you
matches,
can't
which by the
have-
way, I've been to plenty this year.
Before Jeff leaves though, can we talk about how good Aaron Long was?
You can-
that's
yeah,
a
you
good
can
that's a
talk
good
about
time
it.
for this.
Yeah,
He had a great game.
No, Jeff, you talk about it.
Yeah, Jeff, why don't you tell us how good Aaron Long was
Say
tonight?
something bad about Aaron Long because I don't even think you put a pass wrong.
Well, no, he did, because when he was playing advanced, when he was playing and he got stuck up on a corner and they played the ball into him.
That's
as
not
the-
fair.
as the striker.
Come on, he's not forward.
So at first he never played the ball wrong, and then he played the ball wrong, and then it's always not bad, and then sure he's not bad. The issue is, and we're gonna go in a circle. We do this every time, but here's the thing: we have nothing else to talk about. So he's not worth the money. That's the actual issue. We signed him for too much money. He's worth $1 million. He's a domestic player. Et
Stop
cetera,
it.
et
So you
cetera.
don't want to tell us
I'm
about how good he was?
Okay, but
I would love
him
to
and
tell you about how
him
good he
and
was if it was true.
him and Chanel
Okay.
together have looked okay-ish at least, or better.
Listen,
They
I
look
guess what I
good.
could say is, yeah, for a guy that cost us 4 championships by not playing well, he's doing
Oh,
great. this
boy.
year. Yeah.
Drawing a
Okay.
real straight line from one to the other on that one. Skipping a lot of things there on that graph.
Quickly name
Yeah.
me
Diagram? Is it a diagram?
That are doing better than those two in the league.
Ooh, that's good.
Vince, I'm not here for actual soccer takes. I'm here to
I
say
know.
crazy stuff and make everybody mad.
I put you in that spot there. That's my bad.
Well, thank you for joining us and doing that as always. Great to see you. Come back again soon. Well, do you want to actually talk about how great Aaron Long was tonight? Because Jeff didn't do it.
I thought he was good. Look, I mean, Dallas was interesting in the first half. They did not care about attacking at all. There was points where they would win the ball and there was one guy forward. But Aaron took care of business the way he's supposed to take care of business. He also was decent passing the ball, and they were okay. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. If you're going to complain, like, LAFC didn't have a great game, but guaranteed it was not the back line that was the problem. It was just the sharpness up front. And there's not really a problem. Like, there's going to be games like this. Dallas set up to not give up many chances, and they did a pretty good job in the first half, then made a push, and then LAFC found a way through. That's the way games go sometimes.
I think I found this to be a better, like, I think I'm happier with this match than you are. I really didn't have any problems with it. Like, I think the quality of the team we played, I think, showed that we could have beaten them more, but it felt clinical to me. Like, it was like, okay, we should have gotten the goal earlier at least, I guess. But then we got the goal, and it's like, okay, we won the game. Like, we went out there and did our job.
I'm not upset. I wouldn't even call it a
bad
game. I think LAFC just controlled the game, and then when the moment presented itself, they scored. If they hadn't, we'd be much more upset. And I wish they would have scored another one to really kill it off. But, like, they weren't worried about Dallas at all. Let's be honest. Yeah,
they weren't. And Dallas didn't give any reason to be like, oh, shoot, we should have worried about them. Like, I can't imagine that feeling like a trap game either, where it's like, oh, wow, it turns out they're actually there was one moment I'll say, and this is a good segue into a sad foot of mine. It seemed like once Areola came in, that was the first time I saw Campos falter. And it felt like he was starting to present problems for him. And it was like, until then, it felt like he was having a good match. And then it kind of started going downhill slightly. And I was already feeling like in the first half, which was LAFC was clearly better in the first half, even though the goal came in the second. I was feeling like, okay, Campos is having a good match, but I miss Hollingshead. I know a couple preview pods ago, we all kind of veered toward Campos as a starter over Hollingshead, and then I thought Hollingshead had a great match on Wednesday, and I missed him. Not necessarily in connection with who was out there, but I was just like, I want Hollingshead. And Hollingshead came in and it was great.
Sure.
But it was interesting to see once they made some changes, it did actually feel like maybe Hollingshead was needed.
Yeah, I think Campos was a little gassed. And Hollingshead was actually up sooner than he came in. Like, he was I thought they were going to sub him in probably 5 minutes before. He was very close to the sideline, like they were bringing him in. And then they scored the goal, and they waited a second to figure out what they wanted. Yeah, what they wanted to do with Kamara as well. But I agree with you. Campos was like hands on knees, like I'm a little gassed, and they saw that, but they weathered through it.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another caller. Daniel, welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us. Any happy foot, sad foots?
First off, I want to inform you that despite being a fan since the very beginning, went to the first home game against Seattle. Been to MLS Cup. I recently just bought for like $200 something. I tried to convince my mom it was only $50, but it didn't work. This is my first jersey ever. I custom made Gareth Bale in the back, number 11. But anyways, happy foot. It was okay. Thank you. But anyways, it was a pretty good game tonight. Happy foots. Mateusz Bogusz is beginning to become one of our best offensive players on the squad. I think he's been in excellent form this season. He was like with the rest of the team in a rut early on, but the last month and a half or so, he's really outshined. Sadfoot, the man's 22 years old, so I think I'm predicting a move to Europe is closer than not. Sadfoot, if there's any Sadfoots tonight, I think we should have done a little bit better in terms of finishing. One thing about Miss.
Hey, you're on the show.
Sorry, Daniel, we had a scarf,
the vibes are good.
It's okay. I was one of those people too. But about Mr. Talks, I have very mixed opinions. When I first heard it, like I thought Jeff Talk needed to be somebody be slapped. Look, we're doing good, but we're going into this season with a depleted roster. it's like those Waymo automated cars. Right now, we're seeing the first prototypes, but it's not the finished product. But that being said,
Then
when
why
I
are they
looked
out
at
on the road, Daniel?
Someone could die.
I mean, but okay, look. My
I'm
point
kidding. I'm
is,
kidding. Make your point. You were on to something.
when I looked at the standings, we're in second place. So I mean, I think we could see. I can see us winning League's Cup. But for MLS Cup, I don't know. But I actually think Jeff Talk has a point. I think we can make the final because the West is weak. The all the action is in the other conference. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I kind of have a spicy take of my own. So listen.
Is that
There's
what
been
that's what's
new.
coming? Okay.
Yeah, there's been news that Mr. Antoine Griezmann has a $15 million release clause, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now. Regardless of whatever happens by the end of the season, Antoine Griezmann will be a member of LAFC come opening
Whoa.
day of 2025. That's
Wow.
my bold
Okay.
prediction right now.
Unlike what Jeff Talk said, this actually does get recorded. So we've got it stamped here. Let it be known that this prediction was made. We'll see what happens. I will say I did text Vince this morning. I was like, what do you think? With Giroud coming, is he off the table? And he was like, no, could happen. So
Why sign all these French players? Why become the French national team if your end goal wasn't Mr. Griezmann? Why?
well, I think if your angle was what we've got now, that seems to track just fine to me. But you're right too.
And Daniel, to your sad foot point of maybe Matty Bogusz isn't long for this team, I think if you're thinking of a Griezmann, it means no more Bogusz, which isn't a horrible thing. It's just like, how are these people going to fit in? How are the pieces going to fit together? Because you don't put Griezmann on the bench. So that's interesting. I agree with you. I think that Griezmann, if he's available, is a great pickup for LAFC, and it makes a lot of sense. But someone has to go. Because right now there's a strong-ish 11, but there's no way you put Greasy on the bench.
No, he's got to start. He's Vela's spiritual successor.
Yep.
If he comes.
Yep. And this team is playing in a way that fits both of them, where they're a little slower. They need a little bit more creativity. It does make sense. But I would say that also, if Bogusz stays, if he keeps playing like this and playing passes like that, I'm not sad about that either.
I mean, yeah, no complaints, but I don't know. I just see the sea in the water, and I just like with all these big signings coming, and like these weird French guys being signed here. Like, there's got to be something there's got to be some big end game to this. Like,
yeah, I will point out we had multiple people in the chat mentioning Mbappe, so they're out hot taking you for sure, way out of pocket there.
Mbappe is joining Real Madrid. I'm sorry, it's over.
We're like 10 years away from that, guys.
Yeah, Mbappe 2034. I'll take it, honestly. That sounds great.
He's been here. We've seen him. He's physically been in the stadium. We've seen him.
Yeah,
it's true. Yes, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that screenshot on Twitter. People are really into it. Hey, welcome to the show. Uh-oh. Hope he was supposed to be there tonight. Anyway, what you were talking about Griezmann. That was what I was going to say. Bogusz, in a way, I think it's lucky that not only is the team getting hot, but Bogusz is getting hot. Like the value of Bogusz is going up to the point where maybe I don't know if it is a 1-to-1. Vince, you know the business of this better than I do. So I don't know if it's like a 1-to-1 thing like this, but if the value of Bogusz goes up enough, then maybe it makes it more possible to afford someone like Griezmann. I don't know if that translates that simply, but
it doesn't necessarily matter for Griezmann. But if you want to move a Bogusz, you can get someone else. You can get Tam and maybe bring in a quality of player that was like Chiellini. Like, we've all watched the Champions League final, and he did pretty well in it. Mats Hummels, someone like that. So, again, Bogusz has been playing well. If he stays here, very happy if he stays. But there's only so many places on the field, and if
he's only 22.
yeah, the interest comes in for them. You strike while the iron's hot, and you make your team better with what you're going to bring in with maybe Griezmann, and you maybe win another cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Daniel, anything else that you want to leave us with before we say goodbye?
All I just want to say is I love my jersey. It's just, yeah.
It's a good looking jersey.
It's a good looking jersey. It's a good luck on you. Thank you for joining us as always. Love when
Have a
you
good night, guys.
come. You too. LAFC Luke, I see you in the lobby of sorts. You're on mute. If you go off mute if you want to join us, or if you want to hang out, that's cool too.
I'm pretty shook at the amount of people that have like been like, hey, what's up? Like they know what we're doing. Darren, you can't hear them, but they're like, are you recording? And of course we are. But also it's awesome that they're actually asking.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I love the thought of you just like doing a random FaceTime call for no reason in the middle of the plaza after a match.
It's just you and me. I'm like, hey, Darren, let me.
Oh no, we're not recording.
Yeah, just me and him. What happened? This is what happened, Darren. By the way, we haven't even mentioned this. Columbus got the shit kicked out of them in the Champions League final. So as much as you guys were like, hey, LAFC, Leon didn't like they took care of LAFC. Like I thought Columbus was going to do much better. By the way, bad idea to have it on the same day as the actual Champions League final. But
yeah, and MLS matches.
Yeah, really tough. I honestly, I was planning on watching it and then didn't realize it was today.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do have a couple notes actually about stuff that we can get to when things die down later about other stuff outside of our little bubble. So,
look, cool.
Keaton. Hey, Keaton. What's up? Welcome to the show.
Happy Pride Month, everybody that's watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this show.
Thank you. Good to see you, Keaton.
Love you, bud.
Yep.
Oh, he's decked out. I love it. LAFC Luke, you're coming on.
Hey guys.
Hey, Luke. What's happening? Big night.
Happy Pride Night.
Happy Pride Night, Luke.
That was
the
amazing.
vibes were insane. Luke, coming through on the broadcast, you could tell at least some beautiful fraction of what it must have been like there.
That was so amazing. I mean, sorry, Vince, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask before you get into like your happy foot, sad foot. How did you feel about Pride Night? Like it was just from a person being here. I thought this had a little bit different energy than the last couple of games I've been to. And I want to ask you, did you feel like it reached the level of what you would have wanted?
Look, I don't know what I would have wanted necessarily. Like, I just felt really welcomed and embraced and loved. And it was just really special. And I feel really honored to have been able to be a part of that. So.
Well, I think a lot of other people probably felt that way too because of a lot of the work that you put in. So thank you for that and for everything that went into clearly a very well thought out event that was really fun to watch, at least from home. It was really cool.
And it's been a long day, so I'll be quick.
Yeah.
I think
you're gonna throw in some happy puss, sad puss, and then get out of here.
Yeah. My happy foot. Thank God Hugo Lloris is as tall as he is.
Yeah.
And
that was one close call.
That was just one of these like what moments. So absolutely there, and the play from I heard y'all talk about Maddie. That ball to Denis was sick. I mean, it was beautiful. That made that goal happen 100%.
Yeah.
And my sad foot, I don't know that I really have one. I mean, do you have one, Ben?
That's
no,
okay.
but my happy foot was Vince having a peanut butter and jelly shot.
I did.
Oh yeah.
I had to be convinced to have it. I was told that it was the way to go, and absolutely it was.
Oh, I know my sad foot. My sad foot is no happy foot, sad foot for 2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
That does make me sad, but also thank you, I guess.
Oh, also another happy foot. I met
you might cook something up.
I met a friend of the foot at halftime. We did.
I saw that. I saw that. That's awesome. I love when people meet each other, and when I get to meet people, it's awesome. And I love just like randomly seeing the scarves throughout the stadium. It's so much fun.
All right, guys.
All right. Congrats. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again soon.
So, all right.
Bye, Luke. Thank you. Thank you to you and your husband.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Eric from Voices of Black and Gold. What's up? I see you in the chat. Good to see you here. What else we got going on? Okay. I'm looking at my notes for anything else that we haven't touched on.
I'll be honest with you, Darren. It wasn't the most compelling game. Like, let's be honest of what happened. LAFC is flying high. Dallas, not so much. They went trying to see what they could get. The first half, they got a 0-0, and they said, let's go for it. And LAFC controlled that and then managed to get a goal and win the game. That's not the most exciting thing, but I think that that's important for LAFC because when you're a big team, teams are going to come in here and they're going to say, hey, look, if we get a point, we're happy with it. But LAFC got all 3 points. And I think that's important to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good segue into some of the for some reason I ended up writing down a bunch of stuff that seemed notable outside the scope of LAFC in general.
Sure.
You mentioned Pachuca winning CONCACAF Champions Cup. Columbus lost 3-0. I think I wonder what the split would be amongst MLS fans in general. Who I think there's two arguably reasonable stances of fuck Columbus, they beat us in the cup. I don't want to see them win, and I want to see an MLS team win. I was kind of more the former. I'm happy to see Columbus lose that match, but I get the other point of view. I think the other point of view lines up a little bit better for Leagues Cup to be like, the MLS team, because that's more like what that's about. But also, like, you're going to their stadium in that altitude with that fan base. Like, who's going to win that match? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
That Columbus team is a good team. I without seeing the game 3-0 makes me think that Pachuca, like, comprehensively took care of Columbus. So that worries me about Columbus. But that Columbus team's good. And by the way, their coach is very good. So for all those people that are always talking about, like, tactics and everything, like, Wilfred Nancy has real tactics. Like, he knows what he's doing. And so for me to see them lose 3-0, I'm not saying it worries me, but, like, I don't think – I'm with you. Like, I didn't want them to, like, win by a lot, but that's a bad sign. Like, they should have done better in that game.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel says as long as it's not the Galaxy, I root for MLS, even if it's Seattle or Portland. Yeah, fair. Would have been nice to see Rossi win. That's another point of view I've seen a lot of that is fair. I don't know. We saw he beat us for the cup. That's enough for me.
Yeah, but I love Diego Rossi. He's so cute.
Yeah, I do too.
He's so little. He's like shorter than I am, which is makes me just like I want to hug him all the time.
That also Pachuca is a good brings me to another former Pachuca player, Chicho Arango, also former LAFC player.
Never heard of him.
Who had a hat trick tonight, including one from half field.
Yeah, well,
which was insane.
Thank God he didn't hit that shot that Musa hit from half field here.
Yeah. Well, he's neck and neck in the Golden Boot race with Christian Oliveira, so we'll see what happens there. And then I want to give a shout out. Someone else noticed this on Twitter too and mentioned us, which I love because we were on the same wavelength and they knew to mention us. What was it? The 54th minute, I believe. I don't know who it was on Dallas, had a rocket wide of the net that went right into the elbow of a security guard who was under 32-52, and he did not flinch. He was facing the 32-52, did not care.
Because he knew
did not turn around. Nothing.
Back in the net, baby. That's all
ice
he knows.
Cold.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ice in his veins. He's like, if it hits me, it means my team's doing good. That's all I care about.
Yeah. What else? I don't know. I didn't think I have anything. We were none of our bets hit. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I love. We were talking a lot about the Bogusz pass to Bouanga. I think one of the things that just to underline that one more time, Bouanga ultimately had like a very easy shot and made the easy shot and scored the goal. Which all of those things don't happen at once often enough on this team.
With 0 touches.
Yeah.
The ball was played in, didn't have to touch it, just took a shot and put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
That's the quality of the pass.
Yeah. I think Bouanga creates difficult chances that he somehow converts, and he'll create difficult chances that he doesn't convert, and then somehow also doesn't convert sitters. It's not that often that you see like a goal handed to him and it just like he just does the one easy thing that he has to do.
Look,
so it's nice if more of that happens.
if you're watching the Champions League final today, Adeyemi has a chance early in the half that's like kind of put on a platter for him, and he has to try to go around. The goalkeeper doesn't score. They end up losing the game. So it's important that, like, obviously it's important. It's in the second half. But, like, again, great pass and just a strong finish. Like, that's a really good goal. That's a level of play that you like to see from Bogusz because it was a false line play. He dropped into the hole, turned with the ball, played in a guy. That's exactly what you want to see from a false nine. And he pulled up because I think that earlier in the game there was a moment, I can't remember exactly where it was, but Bogusz had a moment where he should have played in Oliveira and didn't, and then he got this right with Bouanga and they scored. That's what matters.
Yeah. I'm seeing stuff in the chat about apparently someone flashed the stadium on the Jumbotron. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I was going to say flash stadium, like the whole stadium, like they were outside and then flashed the actual building.
No. Hey, stadium.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, that's what I think of you. No, like flash the camera that was showing on the big screen.
I mean, the normal sombrero kid, our hero, he's always topless. He's always topless. So he maybe looks weird.
I started to notice. I think there's a rule. Maybe he doesn't take his shirt off until we score. Because I've seen him.
I will say this: Sadfoot, they showed him really early, like 10 minutes in. Like, he's a ramp it up to this guy. Let's build this guy up. Let's do what we do for celebrities. Come on, man.
Yeah. Content creator.
Yeah, content. Jesus. Oh, God. Well, I'm never going to get a job back here. I'll tell you that much.
Also, they should put you on the Jumbotron, content creator.
Right? You know what would be funny? I actually told someone, because people that don't know, there was a possibility I was going to be in a part of the stadium that is very, like, high value. It could have been on the Jumbotron. And I told someone that it would have been funny if I was, because 90% of the stadium wouldn't have known who I was. But 10%, and especially the Happy Foot staff, would have been like, that's Vince. Why is he on the Jumbotron?
It would have been really funny to see you on the Jumbotron and then like a very abrupt cutaway of it's like, oh, we saw them realize and decide against it.
Yeah. I'm not who you think I am.
Just says like soccer head.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've covered everything we need to cover. At this point, I feel like I'm just keeping you there. You got a metro ride.
Yeah, I'm gonna run. I actually took the train today, which will be interesting. But I think we did good work here.
Yes. David Day says Rose Bowl looming large. How many matches do we have till Rose Bowl?
Let's be fair. The Rose Bowl was always going to loom large. I know that
it's been looming large since the beginning.
Yeah, keep building it, but no matter what was going to happen, it was going to build up.
Yeah. Well, I'll say there was a point during this season, not too long ago, where it felt like that game's not even going to matter because we're playing so poorly and they're playing so well. And now we're good.
No game next week. I think there's two matches and then the Rose Bowl.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Great. We are taking a little bit of a break with no matches next week. We'll see if maybe we can cook something up in the meantime. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We will be back refreshed if not. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out live when we're at the games, in the chat, on the show. Keep hanging out. This is really awesome. I love seeing this build. Oh, and shout out to two guys who got to go to the game today because we got to raffle off some free tickets.
Yeah,
and thank you so much to our generous benefactor who gave us those tickets to raffle off, which also created some additional goodwill. People who just gave away other seats to Friends of the Foot just because they were like, oh, I could do that here. So it was even more than two. It was great.
I ran into LAX Andy. I got to see him.
Oh, great.
He was there with his dad, and he was very thankful that he could bring his dad to the game. And I was so excited because I ran into him while I had my friend who he passed off his ticket to my buddy. So a really good,
amazing,
like full circle moment.
Beautiful. All right. Well, let's leave him with that. If you like the show, watch more of it. Give us a like, subscribe to us on however you want to consume the show. You can do it so many different ways. Write a review, that helps. Tell a friend. The more that we can grow this, the better it is, because it's not just whatever we say. It's also other people coming on the show, people in the chat, people hanging out on the Patreon. It's a lot of fun. Live chat was great tonight, as always. Other than that, I love you. Bye.